So why am I starting with the engine bay? Mostly because the next project that I want to do is replacing those leaking fuel return lines. With the engine being all dirty and exposing the fuel injectors and all that stuff, I really don't want any junk in there. Plus, I could be wrong, but I don't think the engine bay has ever been cleaned in the 32 years that this truck has existed. So let's just see how dirty it actually is. Well, on first glance, it may not look like it's that dirty, especially for something that possibly hasn't been cleaned for 32 years. But let's get up close and see a couple things. So the first spot I notice is right over here on the passenger side. There's a lot of oily buildup. It may have been leaking at one point. I definitely want to get that cleaned up. And then just up here, you can see just how grimy it actually is. This is an injector on the driver's side, towards the front of the engine. And if you look close, see there's like a nut or something down in there. Definitely want to get that out. And this injector has definitely been leaking. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a lot of wetness and buildup around under there. So we'll want to get that cleaned out. You can be as complicated or as simple as you want. Probably want to start off with some kind of a degreaser. I like a spray bottle. A variety of brushes. I just have different brushes that I've used over the years. Maybe one that's a little more scrubby. Maybe a softer one for areas that are harder to get to. I have a short-handled one. And then this is more of a detail brush.
3 hours later.
I wasn't really happy with the results from the degreaser. It just, I don't know, just left a lot of crud. There's spots where it just doesn't even look like it really got that clean, especially down here. It's really messy, kind of hard to see, but down in here there's a bunch of junk. It's not terrible around the return lines. I mean, I could definitely replace those and feel kind of okay with it, but I'm gonna see if I can get it a little bit cleaner. So I'm gonna try something different. Super clean. We're gonna give it a shot. It does say it's got biodegradable degreasing agents, so hopefully that works pretty well, but let's give this a shot and see how it works. So according to the bottle, for engines, they want you to use full strength. So I'm going to use full strength, coat the engine, and then I'm going to spray it off with the garden hose, see how that does. If the garden hose doesn't work, then I'll swap over to the pressure washer. I'd say already it's doing a much better job. I don't know if you can see that, but the grease is just running off of that. So that's a good sign. It's already looking a tons better. There's a lot of water that collects in here. There looks like there's some drain plugs, but they seem to be filled, so I'm not sure how to get those cleaned out. But I'm gonna take the air compressor and blow it out, see if I can get most of it out, and then go from there. Well, I've definitely found the issue. Right underneath the injector pump, there's like a gap, and it is filled with pine needles and leaves and crud. And it's clogging up everything underneath so it can't drain out. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get all that pushed through. So I've been scrubbing and cleaning and using the air compressor right underneath this area where the fuel injector is, and I think I got it mostly cleaned out. I did find all of these guys. So at some point, taking out the air cleaner or whatever, these pieces and parts were lost. So I can reuse those. Well, this looks much better. I was able to get it fairly clean. It's not perfect by any means, but it's much, much better. under the injection pump was just clogged with junk and debris, pine needles and leaves and halves of nuts. It was a mess, but I was able to get, I think, a majority of that out, so it should drain a little bit better, and these little drain holes seem to be much cleaner. Yeah, so now that I've got this all cleaned up, the next step is going to be getting these return lines replaced. This one and these four are all leaking, so that's the next step.